She said choose me or the dog while holding a bag of chocolate chips behind her back. So I chose. What happened next destroyed her entire life. I am still shaking as I type this. You guys, my hands are literally trembling on the keyboard because what I discovered about Rachel, I don't even know how to process it. I am Marcus, and I thought I knew the woman I had been with for 2 years. She moved into my house 6 months ago, the house I bought 3 years before we even met. The house where Cooper, my 4-year-old golden retriever mix, has been the king of since he was a tiny puppy. Look, I was upfront about Cooper from day one. My dating profile literally said dog dad if that is a problem. Swipe left. First date, I showed her pictures. Third date, she met him and called him absolutely precious. But the moment her suitcases hit my bedroom, everything changed. It started small. He sheds everywhere, Marcus. Well, yeah, he is a dog. Does he have to take up the whole couch? It has been his couch for 4 years. Rachel, why cannot he sleep in the living room? Because this is his home too. I tried compromising. Got a robot vacuum for the hair, bought a bigger couch, set up a luxury dog bed in the bedroom corner. Nothing was enough. She kept pushing, kept testing boundaries. I didn't even realize I had. But last Monday, God, I am getting sick just thinking about it. I came home from work and couldn't find Cooper anywhere. That is weird, he always greets me at the door, tail going crazy. I called his name, nothing. Then I heard this weak whimpering from the garage. You guys, I found him locked in there in the dark for 8 hours. My boy, who is never scared of anything, was shaking and had accidents everywhere. Cooper doesn't have accidents. He is house-trained better than most humans. Why was Cooper locked in the garage? Rachel, he kept interrupting my Zoom calls. I work from home, you know. So you locked him in a concrete room with no water for 8 hours? It is not like he died, Marcus. Don't be dramatic. That night, I couldn't sleep. Cooper was pressed against me, and I kept thinking about how scared he must have been. But I told myself it was a one-time thing. Rachel was stressed about work. People make mistakes. Tuesday, she showed me apartment listings. Look how gorgeous these places are. And they are pet-free buildings, so clean and modern. Wednesday, she sent me articles about pet allergies affecting relationships, and when dogs become relationship obstacles. Thursday morning was when everything clicked into place. I was making breakfast, Cooper sitting patiently by his bowl like always. I give him a scrambled egg every morning. Yeah, I spoil my dog, sue me. Rachel walked into the kitchen, saw me cracking an egg for Cooper, and completely lost it. This is insane, Marcus. You treat that animal better than me. That is not true. It is true. I am done pretending this is normal. Choose right now, it is me or the dog. I looked at Cooper. He tilted his head the way he does when humans are being weird, his tail doing that tiny hopeful wag. Then I looked back at Rachel. I understand, I said quietly. She smiled this triumphant smile. Good. I will start looking up shelters. No, Rachel. I mean, I understand what you are asking me to do, and I have made my choice. I went upstairs and got her suitcases out of the closet, started folding her clothes, packing everything methodically. She followed me, confused at first, then getting angrier by the second. What are you doing? Helping you pack. You are choosing a dog over me. I am choosing loyalty over manipulation. The screaming started then. How dare I? How could I? She had given up everything for me. What exactly? Living rent-free in my house. I was making the biggest mistake of my life. I had never found anyone who loved me like she did. Good. I called back as I set her bags on the porch, because your kind of love comes with ultimatums. But here is the thing that has been eating at me as I was packing her stuff. I found something in her nightstand drawer that made my blood go cold. A half-empty bag of chocolate chips and a printout about chocolate toxicity in dogs with Cooper's weight written in the margin. She wasn't just trying to get rid of him. She was planning to kill him. Reddit. Am I crazy for thinking this was attempted murder? Because I am pretty sure my ex-girlfriend was about to poison my dog, and I don't know what to do with that information. Update 1. The comments on my last post. Wow. Thank you for confirming I wasn't overreacting. But if you thought Rachel was done, buckle up, because the crazy train was just getting started. Saturday morning. I woke up to 127 text messages. 127. Most were the usual "you will regret this," and "I am the best thing that ever happened to you" garbage. But mixed in were threats that made my stomach drop. Cooper will not be around forever. Accidents happen to dogs all the time. You chose wrong, and you will understand why soon. I screenshotted everything and called my buddy David. "He is a lawyer, Marcus," he said after reading them. "This is straight up criminal threatening. File a report." Now, before I could get to the police station, Rachel's mom Linda showed up at my door. This woman, who had met me maybe twice, was standing on my porch like she owned the place. "Marcus, you need to fix this. Rachel is devastated," she threatened my dog. "Linda, it is just an animal, and Rachel is just an ex-girlfriend." Linda's face went purple. "She moved in here," she decorated. I actually laughed. She hung up some "Live, Laugh, Love" signs and threw out my comfortable furniture. That is not investing, that is redecorating. But then Linda said something that made me freeze. "After everything she sacrificed for you, this is how you repay her?" What did she sacrifice? Linda backpedaled, but I pressed. Turns out, Rachel had been telling everyone she had turned down a promotion to move in with me. Complete lie. She had been fired for missing work, and I had helped her find a new job through my connections. She had been lying to her own family about our relationship. Sunday was quiet. Too quiet. Monday, I found out why. My friend Jake called. "Dude, you need to see what Rachel posted on Instagram." She had written this long post about how I had abandoned her for choosing an animal over human connection. The comments were brutal, all our mutual friends calling me heartless. But then my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Hi Marcus, this is Sarah from Dr. Wilson's veterinary clinic. I saw the Instagram post and recognized the situation. I need to tell you something important about calls we received asking about chocolate toxicity in dogs. Can we talk privately?" I called Sarah immediately. She told me Rachel had been calling multiple vet offices over the past several months, asking detailed questions about chocolate poisoning, always claiming it was hypothetical or for a friend's dog. The calls were so specific and suspicious that we flagged them in our system. When I saw her post about you choosing your dog over her, I realized who had been making those calls. The Instagram post was deleted within an hour of Sarah contacting me. Tuesday, I got served with legal papers. Some bottom feeder lawyer named Thompson demanding compensation for unlawful eviction and emotional trauma. David looked at it and laughed. "She wasn't a tenant, she was a guest. This guy's an idiot. Want me to respond? Please do." But Wednesday was when everything got really interesting. Rachel's sister Ashley texted me, "Marcus, I am sorry about Rachel. She has done this before." "What do you mean?" "The whole thing. The ultimatum. The victim act. She made her last boyfriend get rid of his cat, then left him 3 months later for some guy with a motorcycle. Why didn't you warn me? Would you have believed it? Plus she is my sister." "But the chocolate thing, Marcus." She had been researching this for months. I found searches on her laptop going back to when she first moved in with you. I stared at my phone. Rachel hadn't just been planning to make me choose, she had been planning to eliminate the choice entirely. "Ashley, would you be willing to tell this to the police?" "Already called them. They want to talk to you." Update 2. Holy crap, Reddit. The police interview was intense, and what they found during their investigation has me questioning everything I thought I knew about Rachel. First, the chocolate thing. Turns out Ashley wasn't the only witness. Rachel had called 3 different vet offices asking about accidental chocolate poisoning. She had researched dog parks in our area. She had looked up signs of chocolate toxicity so she would know what to watch for. But that is not even the worst part. Detective Morrison showed me security footage from my neighbor's Ring doorbell. Footage I didn't even know existed. It showed Rachel, on the day she locked Cooper in the garage, letting someone into my house while I was at work. Some guy I had never seen before. "Do you know who this is, Marcus?" I stared at the screen. Never seen him before in my life. They enhanced the image. The guy was carrying an overnight bag. He was there for 3 hours. 3 hours. In my house, with my girlfriend. While my dog was locked away so he wouldn't see. I felt sick. She was cheating on me. That is what it looks like. And based on the timeline, she was planning to eliminate the dog because he might have alerted you to the affair. Cooper wasn't just a relationship obstacle. He was a witness. The detective leaned forward. "Marcus, we have been investigating Rachel for the past week. Would you be willing to hear what we found?" I nodded. even though part of me didn't want to know. Rachel had been living a completely double life. She had told her family she had a high-paying marketing job. She had told me she worked in social media consulting. Neither was true. She had been unemployed for 4 months and living off credit cards and whatever money she could get from men she met online. The guy in the footage? One of 7 different men she had been seeing while living in my house. She had been using my address for deliveries, my Wi-Fi for her dating apps, my utilities while she drained my electricity and ran up my water bill. There is more, Detective Morrison said. We found text messages between Rachel and her friend Madison. They were calling it Operation House Husband. The plan was to get you to propose, then gradually isolate you from friends and family. The dog was just the first step. I stared at him. Are you saying she never loved me? I am saying she saw you as a financial target. Your house, your job, your stability. The whole relationship was a scam, but wait, it gets worse. Thursday, I got a call from my neighbor, Mrs. Peterson. Marcus, honey, I have been wanting to talk to you about something. That girlfriend of yours. I saw her putting something in Cooper's water bowl a few weeks ago, right before you kicked her out. I had been meaning to tell you, but I thought maybe it was medicine you had asked her to give him. My blood went ice cold. What kind of something looked like pills? She was crushing them up, stirring them in. But then I remembered how sick Cooper looked that day. He was stumbling around the yard like he was drunk. I remembered that day. Cooper had been lethargic and wouldn't eat. Rachel had suggested maybe he was just getting old and we should consider his quality of life. I had made an emergency vet appointment, but Cooper seemed better by morning. Mrs. Peterson, would you be willing to tell this to the police? Already did, sweetie. Called them right after I saw the news about that girl being arrested. Wait, arrested, turns out. While I was learning about Operation House Husband, Rachel had been picked up for credit card fraud. She had been using stolen card numbers to pay for her dating app premium subscriptions. The police had been watching her for weeks. But here is the kicker when they arrested her. She was at another man's house. A 55-year-old divorced contractor named Bill who she had been telling the same lies to. She had moved in with him the day after I kicked her out. And she was already planning the same con. Bill called me that night. Is this Marcus? The guy with the dog? Yeah, that is me. She told me you were abusive. That you had thrown her out for no reason. She told me you didn't exist. We compared notes. Rachel had been playing us against each other for months, telling Bill I was a controlling ex who wouldn't let her move on, telling me Bill was just a work friend. She had been using both of our houses, both of our resources, playing both of us for fools. Bill, did she mention anything about pets? Funny you should ask. She said she was allergic to my cat and asked if I would consider rehoming him. Why? I told him about Cooper, the chocolate, the pills in the water bowl. Long silence. Then, Jesus Christ. She was going to kill my cat too, wasn't she? Final update Reddit. I don't even know how to begin this final update. The trial ended yesterday, and the depth of Rachel's deception is so much worse than I ever imagined. She pled guilty to multiple charges: credit card fraud, criminal threatening, attempted animal cruelty, and conspiracy to commit fraud. The conspiracy charge? That is new. Turns out Operation House Husband wasn't just Rachel's plan. Remember Madison, her friend who was getting those text messages? She was the mastermind. Madison had been running this scam with multiple women for years. They would target men with stable jobs, nice homes, and pets. The pets were always the first test if they could make a man get rid of his beloved animal. They knew he would eventually give up anything. The prosecutor showed the jury Madison's playbook. It was 47 pages long. Detailed instructions on how to isolate targets, how to create financial dependence, how to eliminate obstacles like pets and close friends. There were profiles of 12 different men they had targeted over 3 years. I wasn't Rachel's boyfriend. I was her assignment. But the thing that broke my heart? They had a whole section about Cooper specifically. Photos of him, his daily routine, his medical records, somehow obtained illegally, and a timeline for his removal. They had planned 3 different methods: poisoning, fake escape, and staged accident. The staged accident was scheduled for the week after she gave me the ultimatum. If I had chosen her over Cooper, she would have killed him anyway. The ultimatum was never about choice, it was about making me complicit in my own dog's murder. Ashley testified against her own sister. She had found the playbook on Rachel's laptop, and that is when she had first called the police. I couldn't let her hurt another innocent person, Ashley said through tears. Or another innocent dog. The courtroom was packed. Not just with Rachel's victims, there were 11 other men, but I was allowed to bring Cooper as my emotional support animal with the judge's approval, given his central role in the case. Cooper was there, wearing his best collar, being perfect. As always, when they read the sentence, 3 years in prison, 5 years probation, and lifetime ban from owning pets, Cooper's tail wagged. I swear he understood. But the most satisfying moment, Rachel's final statement to the court, "I never meant to hurt anyone. I was just trying to find love." The prosecutor stood up. "Your Honor, the defendant researched lethal doses of chocolate for a 65-pound dog. She purchased rat poison and hid it in her bedroom. She drugged the victim's pet with stolen prescription medication. That is not love, that is premeditated animal murder for financial gain." Rachel started crying. Not sad tears, angry tears. The same tears she had cried when I packed her bags. "You all don't understand. Men love their pets more than they could ever love a woman. I was trying to save him from that unhealthy attachment." Even her own lawyer looked embarrassed. The judge was not having it. "Miss Rachel Thompson, you systematically planned to kill innocent animals for money. There is no psychological justification for that level of cruelty. I am adding an additional year to your sentence, 4 years total. Cooper will be 8 when she gets out." After the trial, Bill and I got beers. Turns out, he is a good guy. His cat Whiskers and Cooper are now best friends. We have been hanging out every weekend, 2 guys who almost lost everything to the same psychopath. "You know what is funny?" Bill said. "I never even liked cats that much before this. But when someone threatens to hurt something you are responsible for, it changes you." I looked over at Cooper, who was stealing French fries from both our plates. "Yeah, it really does." Ashley hugged me outside the courthouse. "Marcus, I am so sorry for everything she put you through. For not warning you sooner. You did warn me, and you testified against your own sister. That took courage. She is not my sister anymore. My sister wouldn't have tried to murder a dog. As for me, I am doing great. Really, truly great. I got a promotion at work. Turns out, removing a toxic person from your life makes everything else easier. Cooper and I joined a hiking group. We have made new friends who love dogs almost as much as I do. My house feels like home again. No more live laugh love signs. No more uncomfortable modern furniture. Just me, Cooper, his toys everywhere, and the kind of peace you can only get when you choose loyalty over manipulation. Cooper's sleeping at my feet as I type this, occasionally kicking in his dreams, probably chasing rabbits, living his best life, completely unaware that he was once the target of an elaborate murder plot. And me. I learned something important. When someone gives you an ultimatum between them and something you love, they have already shown you who they are. Choose accordingly. To everyone who supported me through this nightmare, thank you. Your comments kept me sane during the investigation. To anyone dealing with similar manipulation, trust your instincts. If someone is trying to isolate you from things and people you love, that is not love, that is control. And to Rachel, if you are reading this from prison, Ashley says you are still obsessed with Reddit. Cooper says woof, which roughly translates to karma's a bitch. Edit, since everyone's asking. Yes, Cooper got a victory steak dinner after the trial. He is currently living his best life and has no idea he is a hero. Edit 2. For those asking about the other victims, we have started a support group. Turns out, almost getting scammed by professional con artists creates a unique kind of trauma. We meet monthly. Dogs welcome. Edit 3. Madison got 6 years in federal prison. The FBI found evidence she had been running similar scams in 4 states. Cooper's inadvertent